Alright, big hit coming. Should have waited. But there's a lot coming down the board. Going to take at least 2, and we have 7 damage that they're not going to be able to block. All their mana is tapped. I'm going to go ahead and hit them with the GG. Even with the slight screw up on the timing of that, we still managed. We have now... Hello and welcome back to the Florida Men Gaming. My name is Furion and today we're going to be playing Magic the Gathering Arena. But before we get started, I would like to ask that you please like this video, subscribe to the channel. If you subscribe, smash the little bell button in the corner there so you get notified when we put up new content. Leave a comment down below, let us know how we're doing, what you think, and if there's anything you'd like to see. And if you're over there on Rumble, go ahead and smash that Rumble button. For today, we are going to be playing a standard event, trying out a mono red deck based on what I've run into a few times in the last few days on the ladder. If it's been a minute since you've seen Goblins, same here, and today we're running a Goblins brew built in and modified with some creatures from Kamigawa. So, what we're running here, we have 4 Fireblade Chargers, 4 Goblin Javelineers. This is a great little hasty 1/1 that whenever it becomes blocked, it deals 1 damage to the target creature blocking it. 4 Play with Fire, so we can get a couple shots off at the face if we need to. 4 Battlecry Goblins. This is a great pump goblin, great for boosting your team. For 1 in a red, goblins you control get +1/+0, and gain haste until the end of turn. And if you attack with 6 or more power, it creates a 1/1 goblin token. 4 Goro Goro, Disciple of Ryusei, also a goblin. And for 1 red mana, creatures you control gain haste until the end of turn. And for 3 and 2 red mana, you can create a 5/5 red dragon creature spirit with flying. You activate that only if you control an attacking modified creature. Well, Fury, you say, how are you going to modify your creatures? Great question, I'm glad you asked. For that exact purpose, we have the Thundering Raiju. This lovely little dinosaur beast thingamajig with flowers floating all around is a 3/3 hasted creature spirit for 2 and 2 red. Whenever the Thundering Raiju attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then Thundering Raiju deals X damage to each opponent, where X is the number of modified creatures you control other than Thundering Raiju. So we're going to use him to pump up some of our board. And then once the board is pumped up and we have sufficient mana, we're going to start creating dragon tokens off of our Goblin Samurai. How else are we going to support this deck? 4 copies of Igneous Inspiration. Not ingenious, as some say, but igneous, as in lava. What this does, 2 in a red, it is a direct damage spell that deals 3 damage to any target, which includes face. And then you get to learn. So what are we learning today? We are learning from the sideboard 2 copies of Environmental Sciences, 4 copies of Start from Scratch so we can destroy artifacts, and a Mascot Exhibition, just in case we need a little extra punch. We're also running 4 Relic Robbers. This hasty 2/2 gives them a goblin, which is so generous of us, that smashes them in the face at the start of all their upkeeps. And 4 Hobgoblin Bandit Lords to pump squad. So with that, we're going to go ahead, jump into the first game here, and see if Goblins have what it takes to run in the current standard. With that, we have our first opponent, a name I'm not even going to try to pronounce. And we have a great land set here for our 1, 2, and 3. Don't have any 2-drops, but we'll be able to get down our Javelineer and get in for damage, and drop the Fireblade Charger next turn, and have the Relic Robber ready for turn 3, assuming of course they don't put down any big bodies in our way. Oh, turn 2 we can get a Battlecry Goblin if we choose, and I think that's what we're going to choose here. Got a 2nd damage in. Let's see if they put a body on the board. No, they go for a kill spell. That might come back to bite them, as we are going to move low and fast and pile on the damage here. Give them a lovely little target artifact goblin construct that's going to smack him in the face. 1 more damage for you. Yes, you are welcome. Deadly Dispute. Okay, but that burns most of the mana they have for this turn. So, it's still to our advantage to have that happen. And they are showing green, so potentially a Golgari brew here. Let's see what they've got for us. Shambling Ghast. Ooh, perfect. We're going to go ahead and play with fire the Shambling Ghast. Take away their only blocker, give them another construct, because we're so generous. We want them to have creatures that can't block. They use that Shambling Ghast to remove our Javelineer, but that's okay. We're going to get its damage in spirit here with our Relic Robber. 1 damage to face. Opponent is now down to 9. 1 more mana and we get a Raiju to the board. The Gelatinous Cube. I have a feeling that's going to take our Robber. There it goes. A little bit of exile for the opponent. And we'll hold. Don't have quite enough pump yet to get through the Gelatinous Cube, so we're going to wait and see if we can get a Raiju down and then pump board. Opponent is down to 8. We're 1 mana away from getting our Raijus going. Bloodchief's Thirst, they are shooting their own board state, which is good for us. And an Oran Reef Ooze. Do they put the counter on the cube or do they apply it to the ooze? They give it to themselves. Not a bad call. Come on, red mana. There we go. Okay, so Thundering Raiju coming down. We're going to swing in with the Raiju and the Fireblade Charger and Pump Charger. That's going to make it a very complicated blocking decision. They're going to either have to elect to take some 2 damage to the face with the Charger or kill it. Killing it will give us the ability to use its damage as a damage spell. But it looks like they allow to let it live. That's a mess of a sentence. Ooh, they take the Goro Goro. Well, little do they know, we have another Raiju. And they're swinging in with a Gelatinous Cube. Okay, I see you. Okay, Ogre Jelly coming down. Another red mana. And let's go ahead and attack. Looks like they're going to let the 3 damage through again. Opponent is down to 1. We have it on the next turn if our Thundering Raiju gets to even try to attack. Let's see if they know it. They're saying good game. We'll send it back their way, and they're out. Mono Red takes game 1. Alright, we have our next opponent coming into game 2. Renin 7 Avatar. That can be a problem as Mono Green will be bigger than us right out the gate. But we have enough lands to hit every part of our curve, so we're going to go ahead and keep this and hope that we draw some of our creatures. This deck is running 23 total lands, 21 basic mountains, and 2 Den of the Bugbear. I don't know if I mentioned that in the deck breakdown. Okay, Renin 7 Sleeve showing a island to start. Okay, if that's what they want to do, we'll let them do it. Blue-white, so potentially Azorius Control, possibly Esper. Spirited Companion, okay, this could be Azorius enchantments. We'll go ahead and attack in again with our 1/1, seeing as how they tap down their mana and let us get something to the board. And we're in for more damage. If they have a Catilda, that could be potentially game-ending for us, as Catilda is a big girl and will get bigger if their deck is based entirely around enchantment creatures. Opponent showing 3 mana. And touch the Spirit Realm. Do they go after the Battlecry Goblin? Yes, they do. That is a good call. But now it's time... Oh, they tap down. Well, hey, you can do it. I'm going to punish you for it. If you want to race on the damage front, your 1/1 is no match for mine. And I'm going to give you a gift. Another Touch the Spirit Realm coming down. Do they take? They take the Relic Robber. Okay, good choice. Do they attack in? They do. And we are in interesting territory as we're potentially now facing flood danger. Let's go ahead and hit them and dodge the next land because we have plenty of those right now. Opponent down to 9. Circle of Confinement. This is Exile Tribal, folks. It's going to take our Bandit Lord, if I'm not mistaken. Or is it going after the Construct? Nope. Went after the Javelineer. And a Monk class. I don't even remember what that does. Okay. Reduces the cost of second spells. Let's go ahead and block the Companion. Don't want to take away our lovely friend there. Alright, opponent is down to 6. It's not moving as fast as we want. They've had some good exile pieces in the way. Oh, that was a good move. And a wedding announcement, so they're going to start getting some chump blockers to the board. Oh, and the Javelineer coming in hasty. That was a mistake. I realize that now. But the opponent is down to 2. They can't kill the Fireblade Charger as it stands because it will do 2 damage, so they're in a precarious position, and we're going to be able to attack around the 1 blocker that will come up from the wedding announcement. Confounding Conundrum. I think that's it. I think they're done. They are touching everything frantically, trying to figure out some way to get around us. That's not going to be it. Hit him with the GG. And are they going to rope us? That would be... Oh, nope, they said GG back. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we pulled a second win out. Mono Red, 2-0 so far in this standard event. Alright, we have our next opponent, Kovu. Alright, this is a great opening hand. All the key pieces we really want to see in a Goblins deck, we are yet again on the play. The opponent is showing Dragon Sleeves, but playing Azorius colors again. Okay, I see you, Azorius. It's nice to see you. Opponent down to 18 with Battle Cry on the field. Okay, we're now seeing Esper colors. Let's go ahead and take a shot at their face, see if we can draw out a counterspell. Test of Talents. Okay, they're going to go digging. It's about the only spell they're going to be able to take from us. I mean, I believe it's just that and a couple Play With Fires. A little sad to have lost it, but, you know, we have creatures in hand, we have creatures on board, we're in a pretty good spot, and we're not going to overcommit too often here. We don't want to risk them just wiping the entire field. Archon of Emeria. Okay. If that's the card you want to play, let's go ahead and swing in for big damage. Yeah, I'll trade you. Have another one. You see it. You know it's there. You're going to have to wipe the board here. Sorin the Mirthless. Alright, let's get another big pump down here. And go all in at the face. And we'll send one little creature over towards Sorin. Why not? We're generous. Alright, the opponent managed to gain back 2. Do they have the Meat Hook? They found a land. Meat Hook or Doomscar here would be big for them. The Wandering Emperor. Okay, we see you, Wandering Emperor. Take away our pump. Gain yourself a little bit of health. Let's see if they take the token here. They go for the Javelineer. Unfortunately, we didn't have enough there to power through. Probably a mistake attacking, as it just helped keep their board state neutral. Oh, now they're pumping. And they've got another vampire to the board. Oh, the Bandit Lord. That is exactly what we needed here. Go ahead and block whatever you want. I'm going to shoot the damage right back at you. Infernal Grasp. That is a coup. Opponent is giving us a very preemptive good game here. I don't think they realize that it's 20-6. Yeah, they're in an advantageous position, but I've seen nothing to tell me that they have this in hand. It's a fairy who slows the sunset. Now that is annoying. Play with fire, that can help. Let's go ahead and take the Emperor off the board. And we'll hold the attacks. At this point, they're just being disrespectful. We're gonna just sit here and do what we can. Alright, here comes the untap. A second Relic Robber, so at least one of them will get through, but it's not really going to be for anything worthwhile here. There is a definition for this particular opponent. What's the word that they use there? Oh, yes. Jerk. There's no need to taunt when you feel that you have the game that well in hand. I actually turned off my emotes to stop the temptation myself. I had considered adding some Burn Down the Houses to the deck. One of those would be very nice right now. Unfortunately, I didn't end up adding it, and as you see, we are now dealing with this kind of nonsense. Yep. And we're not going to waste any more time dealing. Alright, we have our next opponent, and a somewhat respectable hand here. I would have liked to have a 1-drop, but I will take the 3-mana starter. And what we'll do is we'll land Goro Goro as our first 2-drop, and then on turn 3, play out the Battlecry Goblin and haste it, assuming they don't have big enough bodies to make that an ill-advised play. We will have to see. The Thundering Raiju does allow us to play the Goro Goro combo that we built this for with that particular card. But we will, again, once we see what the opponent's doing here, have to determine if we're able to even execute that based on their own plays. Kamano faces Kakazan, so we could be facing a mono-red opponent here. Let's see what creature they have coming to the board. Fortunately, we have the Igneous Inspiration, so we can actually utilize that to, well, yeah, we'll still take that out. No need to give them any undue advantage here. And a Rabbit Battery. Go ahead, attack with the battery. You probably should have led with that one. Oh, there's the 4th mana. That is exactly what we want to be seeing. Let's take a look at the battlefield. That is considered an enchantment. We'll still take that. Opponent is tapped, so we'll go ahead and take a swing. Opponent debating whether or not they want to block here. They can't sacrifice the blood token. And here comes the 2/2 haste. Do they elect to attach the battery and burn one of their precious mana? And if they do they elect to attack in? Okay, and there's another mana to the board. Opponent's looking at Goro Goro. Royal Eruption. Okay, that's a big spend. Do they try to take advantage with the attack? Another Rabbit Battery to the field. Here comes 4 damage. Or does it? Hello, Bueller. There it is. That's actually advantageous. Let's go ahead and knock out the etching. And play down a Bandit Lord. We're not in any major rush here. I mean, we might need to start thinking about that, but for the moment, start from scratch gives us a nice little one-hit knock on their Rabbit Batteries if we need it. A 3rd Rabbit Battery to the field, so they have drawn 3 out of their possible 4 already. Do they have another 1-mana Etching of Kumano? And is this just a 1-drop deck? Because we've seen Etching, Voldaren Epicure, and the Rabbit Battery. I guess the only 2-mana spell we've seen so far is the Royal Eruption. Do they try and swing around us here? Are they building a super battery? It appears to be the case. So now they have a stacked battery. And up to a 3/3, do they swing? If you want a race, that's a race I'm happy to do. Go ahead, you know you want to. Alright, the opponent doesn't seem to know what they want to do here. It's you either swing or you don't. Obviously they're sitting on the priority of either the ability to reconfigure back off the existing battery or a possible spell that they might want to cast. Either way, I'm going to let it through. I've got the Thundering Raiju next turn, and that's going to make a terrifying attack happen. Alright, the opponent has burned their time out. There is another mountain. Thundering Raiju to the board. Alright, they've got something. And we now have enough to knock out at least the top battery. They're letting it through. Okay. Let's see what you got. Another Royal Eruption, perhaps? A burn spell, direct damage, shock. Play with fire, multiples. Either way, you're not going to like what happens next turn when the battle cry comes down and pumps. And then I pump it further with Thundering Raiju. The opponent has busted out the rope for a second time. Apparently they wiggled the mouse just enough last time to... Oh, there's Chandra. 1 damage goes probably to face if I had to guess. Is that a race you want to take? Interesting that they go for the card. They got Lizard Blades, but not enough mana to cast it. They had the mana in hand. Okay. That's a worthwhile piece. And now, seeing as how I have enough pieces on the board to feel very comfortable, we will just go and outscale your Rabbit Battery. To answer the question you're asking by tapping the blood token, no, you don't have the mana for it. Another mana comes down, so I'm assuming we're going to see a big swing here, most likely their Den of the Bugbear. They drew another land on the exile, so probably just a last stand of defiance. Or do they actually try and block this turn? Alright, here comes the Den. And the Rabbit Battery stack. We're going to go ahead and just block the little goblin, give him 6 damage. Hit him with a GG. They're going to reconfigure 1 off, but that's not going to be enough. And they're out. Ladies and gentlemen, we've taken our 3rd win on the standard event. Alright, we have our next opponent. Another Sorin the Mirthless avatar. Last one we dealt with was kind of a jerk. Let's see if this one lives up to that legacy. This hand is a little slower than I like. That hand doesn't have nearly enough mana for me to feel comfortable, but I've got enough 1 and 2 plays to feel good dropping the Bandit Lord. Got 4 of them in deck. And with a Play with Fire, I will be able to dig a little bit if I need to. If we draw a land, we will go Goro Goro into Battle Cry. Alright, this is going to be a dangerous game if we are playing against the Artifacts deck. Or, not the Artifacts, the Runes deck. There's green and white. Do they have the Naturalist on too? Kami of Transience. Okay. Oh, that is a good one. Let's go ahead and start limiting their options here. Have just enough burn to take out some of these creatures while they remain weak, but as they start to pump, it's going to get scary. Do they pull the Naturalist, or are they going for exile here? Both of them have a hasty pump effect. If they don't play anything big here, next turn we're going to drop the Battle Cry, pump the Goro Goro for the 1, and swing in with everything hasted. Borrowed time, what are they going for here? Oh, they go for the Battle Cry. Little do they know, it doesn't actually affect us that much. Oh, and they swung, leaving themselves open. And this is even better, the Battle Cry is going to come down and be able to pump itself, giving the entire squad a pump. Opponent is down to 6. They need to start getting their runes down, or this game is going to end very unceremoniously quick for them. Let's see if we can get a Bandit Lord. Alright, Spirited Companion, so they get a pump and a draw. Thundering Raiju off the top would be absolute heaven, but I can always double pump. Oh, do they go for a pump attack here? If they do, that would be epic for us. Please choose not to waste that. 6-6, do you try and race? Do you think you have everything you need? They're gonna go for the blocks, I know that for a fact. Alright, big hit coming. Should have waited. But there's a lot coming down the board. Going to take at least 2, and we have 7 damage that they're not going to be able to block. All their mana is tapped. I'm going to go ahead and hit them with the GG. Even with the slight screw up on the timing of that, we still managed. We have now made even money. Thank goodness I'm not on camera, because otherwise I'd probably have to... Alright, we have our next opponent. We are now 4-1 so far in this standard event with this Goblins mod. Let's see what we've got going here. This is actually a good hand. We're going to go ahead and keep. And we have continued our luck streak here on the play. Goblin Javelin are going to come down and start tapping. Alright, in for 1. With the 3 mana, we're going to do the play line we had talked about previously, Goro Goro down this coming turn, and then we'll use Goro Goro to speed up the Battlecry Goblin on the next turn, getting in for 5 total damage on turn 3. Unless we need to blow something up with either the Igneous Inspiration or the Play with Fire. Alright, Kalain. Nice to see ya. Let's go ahead and swing in for the big damage. Big, of course, being only 4, 5. We have 4 available damage from burn spells available to us. I doubt they're going to block here. They probably want to preserve that Kalain so that they can start pumping creatures with their treasure. Well, looking like they might be considering a block. Or maybe some kind of direct damage spell. Well, whatever it is, it's a complicated decision for them. The question is, do they want to burn that treasure? Alright, down to 13. They wanted to save the treasure. Alright, the opponent's got 4 available mana. Whatever they play will come down in a big way. Grim Bounty, so they're creating a treasure token and taking out the Goro Goro. That's not a bad play. But unfortunately for them, they have now lost the treasure ramp from the Kalain in terms of the boost that it gives to the creatures that it plays. They still have enough to put down a big body though. Could be Goldspan, could be really anything coming down next. Let's see if they have any kind of board wipe, potentially Meathook Massacre. If that's the case, we're in trouble, as we only have the Igneous Inspiration left in hand. Goldspan. Okay, good use of the mana. Do they keep it back as a blocker? Ooh, the Bandit Lord. That is a good hold. We're going to go ahead and swing in. And this is going to be a big swing. 4, 6, 7 damage coming around the corners. 8 damage if he lets the battle cry through. Let's see if there's anything in particular he wants to trade with. He's going to have to trade, at least, to stay alive. He's going to trade with the Goro Goro. And we managed to pull it out. I did the math wrong. We had 9 total damage coming around the corners no matter what we did there. So, we have now secured our 5th win and are into the rare wild cards. Ladies and gentlemen, this deck is outperforming all of my expectations, even if it's doing it slower than I thought. Alright, we have our next opponent, and a little bit of a slow hand. We're going to go ahead and take a mulligan, and that might have been a mistake. We will drop... I don't want to, but we're going to drop the Thundering Raiju. Opponent leading with black. Alright, Okiba Reckoner Raid. Opponent's going, at least so far, black enchantments. Ooh, that is a good pickup. Let's go ahead and see what's coming down the pike. That's a mana that we're going to want to keep, so we're going to go ahead and hold on and swing in, offset some of that Okiba Reckoner Raid. Alright, what do we got? Hobgoblin Bandit Lord coming down. Next turn, we're going to land the Battle Cry with the big pump. And we'll take our 2 damage swing here. Right now, the Hobgoblin is out of range of Meat Hook. Opponent's got a 2/2 in front of us, so we could burn it. We're going to choose not to. March of Wretched Sorrow. Well, it was nice having the Bandit Lord while we had it. Thundering Raiju is a blessing, though. Let's see if they want to block. They do. Alright, the opponent's still down to 14. Do they have another March? Or do they have the Meat Hook? Grim Bounty. It's an interesting card. I haven't seen that in a long time, and that's the second time I've seen it just in this event. Alright, Battle Cry coming down. Let's go ahead and push for the damage while we can. Opponent down to 11. Do they go for the max? They max out. Okay. That's a call you can make. We're going to hit him for 8 damage. Opponent is now down to 3. Blood on the Snow. All we have to do is untap, and we have to play with fire. And that is it. Ladies and gentlemen, this deck continues to perform. Much the same finish I had in the anti-meta deck that I played, where they got me down to within 2. I had hoped that it was going to be okay, and they nailed me with a burn spell. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is a special moment. We are playing for the max. It's an interesting night. Mono red goblin aggro with Thundering Raiju support. We are pulling down the wins in the standard event. might be a deck that would be worthwhile on the ladder. I've run into it on the ladder, so that's why I thought to give it a try. We're going to go ahead and keep this 4-lander. It's a really good number for us. Hopefully we don't flood out, but let's see what happens here. We have on the play our 1-drop and then 2 really solid 3-drops depending on what the opponent's able to put down ahead of us. Alright, let's see what's going on. Voldaren Epicure. Well, we can swing on through that. Thundering Raichu, that's why we play the game. Do you want to try and block? It's been a while since people have seen this card. Do they remember what it does? Alright, opponent showing Rakdos colors. Could be an Anvil deck. There's the Anvil. Alright. And they elect to swing. Let's go ahead and make your options much more... Oh, actually, this is not as good for us. Now that I'm looking at the situation, the Relic Robber just gives them sacrifice fodder. But that's actually okay for us because they elected not to take the damage. Do they go for the kill there? I really hope they do. Oh, thank you. You have no idea how big a mistake that is for what you're trying to accomplish. Here comes the big boy. That stick could be removal. Alright, we are now in a good position for the race. The question is, what did they have? We're still out of range of their typical meat hook. The Oni Cult is sacrificing itself. That's an interesting play to put them at, but it definitely shows a little bit of desperation. Let's go ahead and play the Bandit Lord, and we'll play the Fireblade Charger with it. They don't have enough in the way to kill either of our creatures. Unfortunately, we don't have any trample, so the Goblin Javelineer gets stopped by the body. We are still now they can actually hit us with a meat hook. Do they have it in hand? There's the meat hook. Okay. That's a very, very sad moment for us. But fortunately, we have Battlecry Goblins. Wolf. Okay. Alright, now we're going to give them some choices. They can take our battle cries off the field, but we're going to take their Lulth. And the math is apparently proving to be very complicated for them. Do they want to keep their Lulth? They do. They're going to take 6 damage to face to save Lulth. That could mean that there's another meat hook, but I guess we'll have to see. Do they sacrifice the Lulth for spiders, and do they have another on deck? Looks like they might be looking for targeted removal. Shatterskull Smashing. Okay, they tap all the way out for it. And I'm guessing spiders? No, they're drawing a card and losing a life. Alright, let's go ahead and give some targeted damage here. As long as they don't have another anvil, that's actually okay for us. And there's the anvil. I spoke too soon, ladies and gentlemen. I tend to do that. Once again, we have given them everything they need. And that just gave them a tick for the Spider Queen. That is a catastrophic failing. Another synthesizer, so now they've got plenty of sacrifice fodder. Let's go ahead and make this equation a little less friendly. This might be a loss here. I don't really have enough juice left in the tank here to get past everything they've got going on. Oof. And I'm assuming removal. Voltage surge. Soakins on Smelter. Yep, I think this game is now out of our reach. Yep, we're going to go ahead and hit them with the GG. They've earned it. We'll take our final swing just because we want to. Go ahead. It's me committing virtual suicide. Alright, so with that, they get their second GG. Left on our own terms, as it said, and we're going to take one more shot at the max. Alright, we have our final opponent. This is a great starting hand. I'm going to go ahead and lead off immediately with the Play with Fire and see if we can't. There's a fourth land. We'll take the fourth land. Again, if we land that Thundering Raiju, we're going to need it, so I don't want to bin him until we're at 4. Opponent leading with black mana. The Chandra Nalar sleeve could be another sacrifice deck. Shambling Ghast off the top is good for us, though. Let's go ahead and get Goro Goro down. Alright, showing Orzhov colors. Do they... Okay, Vanishing Verse. They're already going hard in the paint with the removal. Thundering Raiju. That is exactly what we want. Let's go ahead and start giving them something to think about damage-wise. Do you sacrifice it? Are you going to waste mana getting rid of the constructs, knowing now that you don't know it, but I know it? I've got some monsters coming down the pike. Wedding announcement, okay. Let's see how they block. Do they split the blocks or do they go right after the Relic Robber? Oh, they don't. They could have blocked the Relic Robber and stopped it altogether. Alright, the opponent has 4 mana available, a 5th potentially if they have one in hand. We're going to have a big swing here coming up. Vanishing Verse on the Raiju, that is a shame. Eye Twitch. Alright, we are now again bigger than everything that they've got ahead of us. They're still going to take damage from that artifact, so that's good for us. Necrotic Fumes. Okay, are they going to go after the Relic Robber because it's the biggest body, or are they going to go after the Bandit Lord because it makes it a big body? That is the question. Looks like they're going after the Bandit Lord. And they'll sacrifice if they're smart. Oh! They play Sorin. Okay. Interesting. I would have thought they would have used the fumes there. Let's go ahead and take a ping at the Sorin. They're now in a very good position. I don't have anything quite big enough to knock out that vampire on its own. Goblin Construct's going to deal a little more damage to him. I assume at this point now they're going to necrotic fumes. Makes sense for them to go after one of the bandit lords. They may still go after the relic robber though, which would be a very interesting play. Okay, they go after the bandit lord as expected. Now do they start swinging in? Okay, Spirited Companion. They took 2 damage for that. Oof. If I get a land, I'm gonna hit him for another 2. Well, they have the lifelink. I forgot about that. Let's go ahead and take out the Sorin. No more advantages from that engine. Let's go ahead and start clearing some of their board. Seeing as how they don't have a meat hook to leverage that as an advantage, we're going to go ahead and make some moves in that direction. Alright, eye twitch down. Do they open themselves up? Oh, there it is. Okay, so they're gonna keep going for the lifelink. Let's get a big pump. Alright, this is going to clear their board and do a big chunk of damage to their life. If they kill the Fireblade Charger, which would be an interesting play, it will give us 3 damage direct to any target, which will go again towards face. And we have the play with fire, so do we have enough to push through? I don't know, but that's what makes this exciting. I forgot that the Goblins were going to come in with the 1/1 advantage from the Hobgoblin Bandit Lord. It does not appear that they have the Exile spell that takes the pumps down. If they did, that would be a blowout if they were sitting on another Vanishing Verse. But the Hive of the Eye Tyrant tapped in their last mana assignment. Oh, they went after the Fireblade Charger. That damage is coming through regardless. Okay, they're thinking about it. They are reassigning blockers. They still went after it. Are they letting all this through? They gotta block something. And that's not the right block. I've got 12 damage coming through. There you go. They're going after the tokens. Okay. So they're gonna be down to 1 health after this. And they're still having trouble. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the perfect lesson to remind you as to why math is for blockers. Deadly Dispute. Oh, that is a clever move. But we still have it for next turn, and we can get a big, big pump. 1 mana next turn, and we're going to have a very good situation for ourselves here. They are digging like mad, trying to find some kind of potential solution here. Here comes the mascots. No, okay. Well, they still have the mana for it, so I say that, but they still have the mana for it. Are they going to hold back the vampire? That's the next real question. Do they play it? Go for it. Do it. Oh, they're targeting the Bandit Lord. That would be the blowout that loses us this game. Soul Transfer. Did they really just manage to do that? That is a unique card. And they got their Vampire Sorin the Mirthless back down to the board. That is bad news. But the Thundering Raiju is a welcome sight. Let's see if we have enough to power all the way through. Got a lot of damage coming through. I don't think you have the mana to do anything direct. Once again, math is a blocker's conundrum. Alright, we get to take a vampire off the board. That is a big deal. We're going to do 12 damage. They're going to take back 6 life. So they're going to be at 2 at the end of this attack phase. If they don't swing, if they elect to hold, we win with Play with Fire. The game is within reach. Do we have it in us? Do they have more life gain that we don't know about? Are they willing to commit to that attack? They're attacking. Okay, so they're going to play the mascots and fill up the board. And they put down another vampire. Okay. They had another Sorin. My goodness. The wheels are falling off here. Let's see what we've got behind this. Nope, that's not going to do. Probably a mistake here. Do they let it through? Well, let's take away some of their potential here. Do they go all in with their 9 lifelink damage in the air, bring us to 1, and attack with that Shambling Ghast as well? A meat hook for 2 on their part would be a coup. I have a feeling we're out of this game. It kind of got away from us a little bit towards the end there. They just had all the answers they needed right when they needed them. Oh, do they pump the hive? Alright, they're committing. And there's the mascots, just like we suspected. And another shambling ghast. Well, because we can. Hit them with the GG. They definitely earned it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we came up 1 win short of a 7-win streak here. Still an amazing run. This deck did a lot better than I expected. Let's go ahead and see what rewards we pull from this. So we're going to have 800 gold. We made 300 more than what we committed. We're going to get an Invoke Despair. Great card. Setchmore, which we actually have a complete set of both of those. That's a shame. And a Hulking Bugbear. So nothing new for us there. But still, the 800 gold is nice. The chance at some of those nicer rewards, really a cool thing there. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Furion from the Florida Men Gaming. Appreciate you being here, and with that, we're going to sign off. Have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, whenever you're watching this. Look forward to seeing you in the next one.